Have you ever stopped to think about how we really move through the world? I mean, for a lot of us, it's something we don't even think about. But for others, something as simple as a flight of stairs can be a massive barrier. So today, we're going to dive into what it takes to design truly accessible spaces, focusing on ramps and stairs.
This right here is the big question. It's really the question every designer and architect has to ask. And it's not just about ticking a box on a building code, you know? It's about creating spaces that welcome everybody, whether you're using a wheelchair, pushing a stroller, or just need a little extra support.
All right, let's make this real. Picture this as our design challenge. The front door is 600 millimeters off the ground. That's it. How do we get a wheelchair user inside? It's a puzzle, right? A puzzle made of space, exact measurements, and maybe most importantly, a bit of empathy.
Before we even think about picking up a pencil or clicking a mouse, we have to start with the person. That's what user-centered design is all about. So what does our user actually need? What are the absolute basics of the space they need to move around in?
Okay, so this right here is our starting point. It's the fundamental building block for everything else. To make a space work for a wheelchair user, you need a clear space that's at least 760 millimeters wide by 1220 millimeters long. And these aren't just random numbers. This is the personal footprint that's going to dictate every single measurement we make from this point on.
So, with that person in mind, here's our design checklist. We've got to think about the steepness, which is called the gradient. We need to figure out the length and the width. We need to plan for level spots to rest, which are called landings. We need to think about where this whole thing is going to go. And of course, we need handrails for support. Every single one of these is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Let's kick things off with the absolute most critical factor. This is the one thing that can make a ramp useful or completely useless. We're talking about its gradient, or its slope. And I'm serious here. If you only remember one thing from all of this, make it this. The entire safety, the entire function of a ramp boils down to one incredibly important number. And there it is, 1 to 12. This is the magic ratio, the maximum recommended gradient. So what on earth does that mean? Well, it's simple. For every 1 unit you go up, you have to go forward at least 12 units. A simple ratio with a huge impact. You see, this 1:12 ratio is the perfect balancing act. If you make it any steeper, it becomes incredibly hard, even dangerous, for someone to push themselves up in a manual wheelchair. But if you make it any flatter, the ramp just gets ridiculously long and takes up way too much space. That 1 to 12, that's the sweet spot. It's the gold standard for access. Okay, so we've totally nailed the gradient, but a ramp is way more than just a simple slope. Let's get into the other vital rules that are all about space and safety. This chart breaks it down perfectly. The clear width needs to be at least 1,000 millimeters. That's 1 meter, so there's enough room to maneuver comfortably. A single ramp section shouldn't go on for more than 9 meters before you get a nice, level landing to rest. And of course, you need at least 2,100 millimeters of headroom. No one should have to duck. Now, handrails. These are not an optional extra. They are absolutely essential for safety. You need them on both sides at a height that's comfortable whether you're sitting or standing. And check out that last point. They should stick out 300 millimeters past the slope. Why? So someone can get a firm grip before they even start going up or down. That's what I call smart, proactive design. All right, so a ramp almost never lives by itself. It's usually part of a bigger system that includes stairs, which have their own important rules, and landings. Think of landings as crucial pit stops, places to rest and turn for everybody. And this is a really important rule. You always want to have stairs alongside a ramp. It just gives people a choice. But just like ramps, stairs have their own design secrets to keep them safe. The vertical part of the step, the riser, shouldn't be too high. We're talking about 180 millimeters max. And the flat part you step on, the tread, needs to be deep enough, at least 280 millimeters. It's that combo that makes a staircase feel safe and comfortable for everyone. This 3D view really helps you see how all the pieces fit together. You see those flat, level areas? Those are the landings. You absolutely have to have them at the top and bottom of a ramp, and you need one if a ramp goes on for more than 9 meters. They're not just for turning, they're for catching your breath. And they have to be big enough. The minimum size, especially if you need to make a turn, is 1,525 millimeters by 1,525 millimeters. That gives a wheelchair user plenty of space to stop, pivot a full 90 degrees, and keep going without a struggle. Okay, so we've got all our rules, all our core principles, the right gradient, the right width, safe handrails, and those vital landings. Now, let's see what it looks like when a designer puts it all together. This is pretty much the game plan. You start by really understanding the problem. Then you define your specs using all the rules we just talked about. You sketch out some ideas to see how it looks, and then you draw a final precise plan. It's a step-by-step process that makes sure you don't miss a thing. And boom, here's the final result. You can see how everything we discussed comes together. There's that gentle 112 slope, you can see the landings for resting and turning, the handrails are continuous, and right next to it you have that perfect flight of stairs with safe risers and treads. It's a complete system, designed so everyone can get in with dignity. You know, this quote just nails it. It's not just about following a list of rules. It's about creating something that is strong, totally safe, and actually works in the real world, in the space you have. It's where good design meets reality. So I'll leave you with this. Now that you kind of have the designer's secret checklist, I want you to take a look around your own neighborhood. As you walk around, what do you see? Can you spot the ramps that work? And maybe more importantly, can you spot the ones that don't? Once you start looking for it, I promise you'll see the world in a completely new way.